date windows are ugly. It's easy to realize that date windows are ugly with a thought experiment. So let's imagine no one knows about date windows. Date windows are not a thing. This is not something you've seen. And everyone is using watches, and someday you have your watch, beautiful watch with no date window, and you take it to some watchmaker, and by some lucky accident he damages your watch in a way that looks very, very similar to this. Your clean dial gets a square, white square like this one, and he tells you, oh, I'm so sorry, I damaged your watch, but it doesn't look bad. Look, this is how it looks. What do you think? Do you think it actually looks good? Is there at least one person on earth that's going to say that this looks good? There's no person that's going to say that, because it's just plain ugly. If you ignore the practical aspect of the date window, you have to say it's just ugly. There's no way around that. It's kind of puzzling to me why the brands and the people insist on buying watches and making watches with date windows. Maybe because Rolex made it popular and people and brands like to copy Rolex. I think date windows are okay in the correct context. That is, if you're Rolex, because you kind of created the date window, or maybe you're using some very cool date window that's part of the design, like the Lenga Big Date, for instance. So this date window is not an ugly afterthought. It's a part of the design of this watch, and it's beautifully executed. This here is just an afterthought. This is an afterthought. In most date windows, in ETA movements or any date windows that look like this, it is just ugly. No one is going to say that this is not ugly. So besides the beauty, let's maybe think of the practical purpose, because maybe you can say, oh, yeah, it's kind of ugly, but I don't mind. It is practical. I don't think it's practical, actually. I think date windows harm you more than they help you, unless you have a perpetual calendar or annual calendar, and you're going to wear the watch every day. You're not going to let it unwind. Because otherwise, every end of the month, there's a chance that your date window is going to be incorrect, and you're not going to remember. Not always you're going to remember in the exact date that the date is incorrect, and you're going to fix it. And I actually, once I missed an appointment because of that. It was, I think, the second day of the month, and I relied on my watch date, and I made a mistake, and I never again paid attention to the dates. So I don't think you should pay attention to the dates in your watch. And people usually are not using the watch every day, so the watch stops, and are you going to set up the date every time? It's so stupid. So this is what I have to say. I think Rolex, they created the date window. They ruined the appearance of half the watches that were created after Rolex, after the date window, right? Because people love it so much, this ugly thing. And this is my complaint. This is what I have to say here. If you disagree, another thing that I would like to say, actually, before closing the video, I think you can display the window in a beautiful, the date in a beautiful way by having a pointer date. It doesn't ruin the symmetry of the dial. It doesn't create a second layer to the dial. This is what I don't like about date windows. It creates a second layer. Like, this watch is black, and this watch is white, but still the date window is a little bit off. It's a second layer. The color is not exactly the same. Yeah, it's just unnatural. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Try to avoid watches with date windows if you can. Okay, see you. Thank you so much.